Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I'm so excited for this one because in this video, we're discussing the foundation of manifesting. We're gonna do a step-by-step on how to manifest anything that you want. I'm going to be reading from Neville Goddard's book, Out of This World and the Search. This is his collection, but this is the one book that I will be reading out of because he has 3 parts to this. 3 simple steps to fully understand how to manifest. Okay, let's jump into it. Oh, but before I do, I'm wearing a Mickey shirt because I went to Disney on Friday for my birthday and I went with my mom. Oh, it was so much fun. Thank you guys so much for all of the birthday wishes, by the way. I felt so loved and I love talking to you guys. Also, I have one-on-one coaching, which I don't really promote very often, but I do that as well. So I will leave in the description box below if you want to have a one-on-one, face-to-face with me. But anyways, let's jump into it. He says, "Let me again lay the foundation of changing the future, which is nothing more than a controlled waking dream. 1. Define your objective. Know definitely what you want. 2. Construct an event which you believe you will encounter following the fulfillment of your desire, something which will have the action of self-predominant, an event which implies the fulfillment of your desire. And 3. Immobilize the physical body and induce a state of consciousness akin to sleep before you go to bed. Then mentally feel yourself right into the proposed action, imagining all the while that you are actually performing the action here and now so that you experience in imagination what you would experience in the flesh were you now to realize your goal." That's it. Those are the 3 steps. And we're going to talk just a little bit about each step. The first point of defining your objective is arguably the most important part. I remember when I used to watch Abraham Hicks, and when I was really listening to Abraham Hicks' work, I noticed that at the beginning of every single segment, they always say, "Do you know what you are wanting? Do you know what you are wanting?" And then the crowd would all go, "Yes." And then they would continue from there. Knowing what you want is important. Write it down so that you become more focused and aware of it. Writing it down is a very, very powerful form of manifesting in itself because you are taking the time and energy to write out your plan. This is why we have organizers, planners, notes on our phone. Writing things down is a very easy way to effortlessly put your awareness on the objective. Okay, when you are defining your objective, it's important to not only understand the objective, but also becoming clear as to why you want that, because we only want things because we believe it'll make us feel better when we have it, right? Anything in life. That's why we're always trying to level up and evolve and all of that good stuff. But really, it's just this idea that this thing will get me to a feeling state that I'm not feeling right now. So when you become clear of your objective, it's important to recognize, for example, if it's an SP, it's important to recognize what is it about that thing, or for instance, this SP, what is it about this person that is making you feel or giving you this feeling that you will feel better in the having of it. So that would kind of look like, oh, isn't it so wonderful that we'd be able to go on walks together? Or wouldn't it feel so wonderful to feel supported and to feel cherished and to feel like I have somebody to rely on? Or wouldn't it be so wonderful to live a lifestyle with another person and watch them evolve and flow my appreciation towards them? I can feel it myself. When you start talking about these things and why you want it, it's much easier to manifest than to focus on what you don't want, right? The second part is to construct an event which you believe you will encounter following the fulfillment of your desire. So I've said this in past videos. We have been manifesting all of our life. We have been doing this since birth. We have been manifesting and doing this and creating our own reality. If you look back into your life, you will know clearly that when you set your mind on something and you said, no, that's mine, or yeah, it's done. Yeah, like it, not even a question, we're going out to eat at that restaurant. Or yeah, not even a question, I'm going to buy this thing. Not even a question, this person is totally into me. Like, oh yeah. What do you think that is? That's manifesting. That it's such a natural process that we inherently know how to do, that when it manifests, we sometimes give ourselves no credit for it. We tend to forget and say, oh no, that I couldn't have possibly created that. I couldn't have possibly created something so good in my life. It's you. I promise it's you. You're manifesting it. You're manifesting all the time. If you have the ability to think that thought, then you have the ability to manifest it into the physical reality. You create an event right before you go to bed. You create an event. This is how I went to Disney. I have a picture of Disneyland on my vision board, and every night before I go to bed, I look at the vision board. I don't even take that long. I just sit there, turn on some frequency music, look at my vision board, feel wonderful things in my heart, and just sometimes I get chills. And then after that, I go to bed. And then things manifest for me in a very effortless, natural way. And it's not really a concern of ours to put ourselves in the middle of things. You're imagining the state and you're giving yourself the feeling before you go to bed. It'll happen in a natural, effortless state because that's what we've been doing. That's what we've been doing all of our lives. And then 3, immobilize the physical body and induce a state of consciousness akin to sleep. Okay. So you're going to go into an action where you feel it here and now. And I'm going to use a personal testimony because when I have essentially hit rock bottom, or when I feel like desperate, when I feel like my circumstances, my external circumstances are just not doing what they need to do, nothing is conforming, nothing is aligning, that's a good spot. That's a good spot to be in, and I'm going to tell you why. Because you have no other choice but to relax and go into your imagination. Going into your imagination and being like, okay, this is literally all that I've got. I can't think about my external reality right now. If I think about my external reality, I will not be okay. I am going to go inward and focus on this dreamlike state of mine, and I'm going to feel it real. I'm going to see the house that I want to live in. I'm going to touch the doorknob of that house. I'm going to be there. I'm going to transport myself. When you continue to do something like this, it will manifest. Promise you. And it's not something that anybody really knows how to explain. It's way beyond our understanding, and that's scriptural. All we know is that when you get into that imaginal state and you really just let go and you imagine for the sake of imagining, it will come to pass. Promise. Okay, so those are the 3 steps of manifesting. I hope that you guys enjoyed. Before I go though, I wanted to say one really important piece of information that Neville says right after the 3 parts. So he goes on to saying, experience has convinced me that this is the perfect way to achieve my goal. However, my own many failures would convict me were I to imply that I have completely mastered the movements of my attention. I can, however, with the ancient teachers say, this one thing I do, forgetting those things which are behind, and reaching forth unto those things which are before, I press toward the mark for the prize. Philippians 3:1-14. Even Neville himself is saying hey, I'm not perfect. I'm perfectly created in the image of God, but sometimes I miss the mark. And that's actually when you translate sin, sin means to miss the mark. That is the translation. Neville is a messenger. He is a vessel that gave information to understand how to manifest better, because the Bible is a tool to help you understand how to manifest. And I really want to emphasize this point that this is a practice. It's not about being flawless, okay? Everybody has their own life experience, which has caused them to create more preferences. And you wouldn't even know what you want if you didn't know what you don't want. So it's about being grateful for every single experience that you have so that it tailors and makes your preferences clear. It is a practice. Don't beat yourself up if you imagine something once at night and then you don't see it pop up the next morning. Imagine for the sake of imagining. Imagine to make yourself feel good. And all of it will come to pass. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.